Well then, can you believe it? Arsenal win again. They've won finally away at Tottenham in the Premier League and take another massive now step towards winning the Premier League. Arsenal outclass Spurs. If you're with us right now, let us know in the comments what your thoughts are as we witnessed Arsenal win again and go very much clear at the top of the Premier League. Arsenal fans must be in absolute dreamland right now. I'm definitely going to be watching a bit of expressions tonight and, of course, AFTV. As I said at the start, let us know if you're with us in the comments. Like the video. Let us know your thoughts towards the game. And, of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to DR Sports. And I tell you what, tomorrow's going to be very good on the weekend roundup show with myself. You've got, obviously, Robbie, Matisse, and Abby. I wonder how she's feeling right now. But there you go. Saka in the comments. Arsenal title charge without a doubt. Crying North London is red, says Aldon Dites. No live after we beat City, says Marlon. No. Come on, Arsenal, says Joshan. And Ralph saying, I can't wait to see expressions. Fair enough. You lost to Brighton 3-0, don't forget. Thank you very much for reminding me. I was on the Saturday football show yesterday whilst it all happened, so it's very unlikely that I would forget. But let's go back to London. Graham Robb, very happy, as you can see. And Abby in the mud from Sakjam. Well, let's talk about the actual game then. Tottenham in the first half. I mean, yes, they had two half chances, you could call them, right at the end of the first half with that Kane little flick on at the front post. Also, maybe shouts of a penalty as well, right at the death of the first half. But take away that, and it was all one-way traffic, wasn't it? Arsenal so dominant. Thomas Partey, I mean, it could have even been 3-0 at halftime if Thomas Partey's shot was a little bit to the left, maybe 6 inches more. But absolutely incredible performance by Arsenal. Massive statement. You heard in the week how Arsenal fans said that, they had to win this game, not only to stay ahead at the top of the table, but also as a general statement. Arsenal, as we know, haven't won any of the last 8 away games at Tottenham, whether that be at Wembley or the new stadium. But Arsenal have absolutely blown Tottenham away and did most of their work in the first half. And obviously that Odegaard shot from outside the edge of the box after that horrendous own goal, really, from Hugo Lloris, which begs the question, is his time at Tottenham now up? Is it coming to an end? The amount of high-profile mistakes that he makes for Tottenham at such an old age, really. I mean, he's 36 now, Hugo Lloris. And out of the 2 goalkeepers today, you'd have to side with Aaron Ramsdale. Some really big saves from him. But speaking of that first half, for Arsenal to go into that at 2-0 was just absolutely huge. The stat came up at the start when they scored the first goal after 10 minutes, saying that in the games that Arsenal have gone ahead in the Premier League, they're unbeaten so far. They do hold out that lead and make sure that they see the game out. And as we know, Nketiah had a good chance as well. But going into half-time, Tottenham were begging for that whistle. If anything, 3 or 4-0 was probably a more accurate scoreline for that first half, the first 45 minutes. And then the second half starts, and Tottenham, to be fair to them, listened to what Conte must have told them. Ooh. Sorry. Listen to what Conte must have told them in the halftime break and gone out and attacked. And for the first 10 to 15 minutes, we're absolutely blowing Arsenal away. But again, as I mentioned, Aaron Ramsdale, very alert, very open to making those big saves. And boy, did he. Tottenham definitely got back into the game. But in the end, Arsenal, a 2-0 away win is absolutely massive for them. LJ Brown expressions, better not be going into hiding like he normally does. Partey, way underrated, says Daude. Saka and Partey, world class, says Shang Mugen as well. Let us know what your thoughts are today about the performance of Thomas Partey. Obviously almost scored an absolute wonder strike from around 25 yards outside the box as well for Arsenal, as I mentioned in the first half, which could have made it 3-0 in Arsenal's favour at half-time. But they now move 8 points clear to Arsenal. In terms of the match stats, possession-wise, very even, 51% to 49% for Tottenham. In the end, they had more shots, 17 to 14. Well, sorry. 7 shots on target, 5 for Arsenal, 4 Corners to Tottenham, 3 for Arsenal, and it was a lot of fouls, to be honest, in this game, 16-15 in Tottenham's favour. I actually personally believe that maybe Romero was fairly lucky to stay on the pitch, but Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard, obviously after scoring the second goal, they knew that this game was theirs. He says, and I quote after, "It's about time we won there. It felt amazing. We remembered what happened here last time, and we wanted to play a better game and show a different side to us. We enjoyed this game," and his celebration is something apparently they've spoken about in the team. Basketball, Ramsdale tells me to shoot all the time. I did. And we saw what happened. It went into the back of the net. And on their 8-point lead over Manchester City, he says, "We're in a good position. There is no doubt about that. We've got to stay humble and keep working hard. You saw the difference in the first and the second half. Today we have things to improve. We have to keep going." But that now leaves Tottenham 14 points now behind their rivals Arsenal. You saw it meant to the Arsenal players at the end of the game in front of the Arsenal away fans. Now, does this performance make you think that Arsenal can go on now to be champions? That's what Clinton Morrison said. He said Arsenal thoroughly deserve it. They did all the work in the first half. What's wrong with me, guys? Tired from watching all that football this weekend to cover for you. They did all the work in the first half, he said. They were outstanding. Tottenham were nowhere near it in the first half. Conte can say they were brilliant, but Arsenal have a brilliant goalie in Ramsdale who makes crucial saves, and that was the difference for me in the second half. Professional performance from Arsenal. They now look like the sign of champions at the moment. 8 points clear of Manchester City in the Premier League. This is their biggest lead in the Premier League when playing the same number of games as the side below since the final day of the 2003-04 season, where they won the title by 11 points. Obviously, Ben White giving it a bit of this to the Tottenham fans as well. What was that yawning? Yes, yawning at Tottenham's performance, to be honest. Arsenal absolutely thumped them in the first half. Big up to Arsenal here. Ring X, do you know what I actually could do? But I can imagine he's probably filming right now, and maybe I could call him very shortly. AGT, what a result. Come on, you Gunners, says JY. Are you sleepy or hungry, AGT? Maybe a bit of both. Hungry for this analysis of this game. Big up to Daniel, who's saying, let's not even mention Mudryk. He signed for Chelsea, so good luck to him. Let's focus on the 3 points taken off a North London rival. Great performance. Come on, you Gunners. X is probably having a mental breakdown right now. He's probably giving it what for to the camera, making sure he can put his videos out for you. But I have to say, Arsenal, that's very impressive. This was maybe a mental hurdle, wasn't it? Them winning away at Tottenham. I guess you could throw in the Etihad as well, Anfield as well, when it comes to big games that Arsenal, or the type of big games that Arsenal need to win to become champions. Oh, tired of this Liverpool performance, if I'm honest. I mean, it's awful what I went through yesterday. But Arsenal fans, very different emotions for you right now. Expressions losing, says Arkashan. Making a joke there, obviously. Expressions oozing. Thank you, AGT, for the compliments. Pundits hate doing that. I don't know. I mean, pretty much all the pundits right now are singing the same song, and that song is that Arsenal look like they could end up being champions. Klopp is making me yawn. Absolutely, he is. Those performances, they're hard to sit through. Pundits absolutely fuming. Love it, says Mustafa as well. What does this now mean for Martin Odegaard? I mean, for me, he's churning out weekly now performances that stand out. You see at the end as well there, a little bit of back and forth I'm just seeing here between Ramsdale and Richarlison at the end. A fan, look at that. Is that a home fan trying to get on the pitch, shouting at Xhaka? Xhaka shouting back. I'm just getting these pictures in now. Maybe we didn't see this before, but maybe that's something that's going to be looked into as well. But what does this mean now for Martin Odegaard? Gent next door saying Odegaard a contender for player of the year. I would agree. The first 45 minutes from Spurs, though, just schoolboy stuff. It's true. Snake Eye says, Edu, please, man, reinforce his team. There is a chance for a title. You can see the second half that Arteta had no one to bring on. Martin Odegaard, says Arkashan. And a Spurs fan kicked Ramsdale in the back. Ramsdale went to pick up his bottle near the Spurs fans and he got kicked in the back. That's unbelievable. Spurs should be charged, says Dynamic. We saw last night, didn't we, about Everton fans who, allegedly, well, it wasn't alleged. We saw it in the video. They went up to players like Yeremina's car, Anthony Gordon, allegedly throwing things at the car. That can't be happening. We heard of reports as well that maybe the female director at Everton was in a headlock as well. Now, we can't have that in the Premier League, in any league, to be honest. I mean, it's just not acceptable, especially when you're trying to sell the club or you're looking for new owners to invest. They're not going to want to do it on the back of that or pictures like that. So I think Everton fans have to really have a look at themselves there, and we don't like seeing what happened there at the end. A fan managing to get on the pitch and kick a player. I mean, that is disgusting. When you consider as well the charges that Arsenal have had by the FA fairly recently for surrounding the referee, Spurs also need to act upon that. They did put the chairman in a headlock. Absolutely. Please, someone do that to FSG. Wake up, mate. Well, I am. Maybe just like Tottenham's defence, they need to wake up too. No, the FA need to charge Daniel Levy, coming from a Spurs fan. Or a Spuds fan, says Jean-Pierre Shields. Big up AGT. My brother, says Darkest Gooner. Big up to you. The fraud striker who also pushed Ramsdale in the face. As we know, Richarlison loves a bit of rumble tumble. Absolutely. I am a steward. That fan will be arrested and permanently banned. I do agree. I think if a fan jumps on to the pitch, then you're looking at some kind of fine. But to actually kick a football player, you're looking at some kind of definite ban as well. So a permanent ban, if I'm honest, does sound right. Man City is now the best of the rest, says CKDC, and Mudryk must be uncomfortable in his own skin. I mean, Arsenal fans going into this game today, obviously now we know Mudryk is firmly a Chelsea player wearing that blue. But how are you feeling going into this game, knowing that if you had someone like a Mudryk to bring on off the bench in the second half to integrate him to the team slowly, do you think he would have made an impact? You won the game anyway, but I think when you look to the bench in the second half, there weren't really many options in an attacking sense, for sure. I thought Eddie Nketiah did okay. Maybe could have had a goal, but 65, 70 minutes when the time starts ticking on, you are looking to that bench to bring on a player to maybe help you get out of the trouble or maybe kill the game off, and Arsenal didn't have that today. Therefore, Arsenal fans still asking for more reinforcements in this window. Don't worry about Liverpool. Have you seen the Qatar and Ian Rush news? No, please let me know it. AGT, who's your top four this season? Well, Arsenal are for sure in it. They are definitely in it. Fabian C, an Arsenal fan, saying, never wanted him. I'm thankful Chelsea got him, as he is not proven. Well, I mean, you say that, but at the same time, if you did bring him in, you would have been very excited. And now, as soon as he goes to Chelsea, Arsenal fans said, but he's not proven. But you still wanted him. But he's gone to Chelsea, where there is a lot of wingers. There's a lot of attacking options. I'm tired. If I'm really honest, I'm tired of watching this rubbish football that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are playing right now. And we will discuss that more on the weekend roundup tomorrow for you. To be honest, 100 mil was so much or too much. We can get a CDM and a winger for 100 mil. The big zero costs 30 mil, by the way. There you go. Is Sané available for Arsenal? Asked Amit. I think there were shouts, wasn't there? Pretty much immediately after the Mudryk deal happened, the attention turned to a player like a Sané, player like a Rafinha. Now Arsenal may be back in for as well. KSI called it 2-0 in his post-fight press conference is a highlight. Oh my God. I actually do believe that yesterday KSI was with the Don and said that Arsenal would win that game 2-0. Someone get this guy a Red Bull. Absolutely. Thank you very much. They're proving everybody wrong, says Freewheeling. End of the Liverpool City era. The real Premier League is back. There you go. The fan did kick Ramsdale, as we know. I'm sure there'll be more on that as the night wears on. He's got 44 professional matches under his belt. 100 million. Really? Asked Dynamic Shots. Will you sell Fabinho? That's probably for another show. But from start to finish, Arsenal absolutely outclassed Tottenham. At what point did you fully relax, though, Arsenal fans, in that game? Obviously, Spurs were knocking on the door, but what point in that game did you fully sit back and go, right, the points are ours. We've finally done it. We've broken that mental hurdle that has been hanging over us for so long by beating Tottenham away. What point was it for you? Was it after the big save from Ramsdale? Was it maybe when you brought in Emil Smith-Rowe to maybe see out the game after Odegaard goes off? Let us know in the comments right now. We also should. I mean, there weren't many goals in the Premier League today. 3 games, only 4 goals. But in the other games, we know that Kai Havertz heads the winner in for the host. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace 1-0. And also Newcastle United 1-0 winners against Fulham, keeping them in 3rd place as Alexander Mitrovic has a penalty ruled out for a double kick against his former club, and Alexander Isak with the late goal to take them back to 3rd place and take all 3 points. But we're talking about Arsenal. Let's get into this super chat here. Mikhailo who asks Anger Sangren. Exactly. That's what all Arsenal fans will be saying today. So Arsenal fan only truly was confident. Margie loves Arsenal. In the 90th plus minute, 80th minute, says Josh. 95th minute, says Dynamic Shots. Again, at the final whistle. So even being 2-0 up, you weren't fully relaxed right up until that final whistle. 95 minutes, says Pawam. 5 minutes, maybe the earliest shout that we've had so far. Let's get into some more comments. After the Son free kick, says Jacob. AGT, get ready to pay up the money. Asks Sami Nawathan. 80th minute, where the Tommy sub came on just to shore it up. And as soon as Odegaard scored, wow, still in the first half. That confident. Wade Trill, big up. AGT, imagine Arsenal going head-to-head with City for the first time and winning it. What does that mean for Liverpool? Honest opinion. Well, it means a lot of Liverpool fans are very upset. We've had big battles with City for 3 or 4 seasons, and the one season they don't decide to turn up, Arsenal are walking away with the league. So thanks, Man City. You haven't done your job. Do you find any flaws in this Arsenal team? I would say potentially it's the depth in that attacking position. It's likely that over the next month, Gabby Jesus comes back into the team, but I'd say maybe not a flaw because it isn't their starting 11. But when it gets to those latter stages and Arsenal aren't in front, then I would say maybe it's the depth that might be or might become to be an issue for Arsenal. But again, still got 3 weeks left of the transfer window, so time to sort that out still. After the full-time whistle, good for you. Even Expressions wanted Lloris out time ago, says Axrella. Bring Zaha, Trossard and Tielemans to Arsenal, says Lewis Brown. 26th minute, Doof knew the game was wrapped up. 60th minute for Sash. 90th minute because our record is terrible at their ground. That was why I asked the question for sure. My girlfriend has left me today and Spurs made it worse, says Shearing. Mate, I'm sorry about that. Your girlfriend left you today. I'm sorry. And you're a Tottenham fan. Oof, tough Sunday. London is red, says AM. They are 8 points clear, as we now know, but never felt any stress against Spurs, even when they had their moments in the second half. What do you think about Brighton? Very good football team, obviously. Spurs in the mud, says Jewel. Partey was very good, says Kwasi. What does this mean for Tottenham now? Are they still in the Big Six? Well, Tottenham fans, let us know. We can talk about how good Arsenal were, how they dominated, but Tottenham fans, you mustn't be happy, especially when you see the manner of the first 2 goals. I'm pretty much blaming almost solely both of them on Hugo Lloris. The first goal goes down as an own goal, definitely should deal with it. But the second becomes from an awful goal kick that they just get down on the floor, heads it down, does Saliba. They get it to Partey, move it out to Saka, give it to Odegaard, and he's got a free shot. He's got a free strike on goal. You can't give a player like Odegaard that time and space on the ball on his left foot outside the box. You just can't do it. And they did that. And, you know, to go in at 2-0, to go in at half-time 2-0, Arsenal were in dreamland. And they knew they just had to see it out, resist that pressure in the second half. But the strike from Odegaard's a good one. Maybe, again, for that second goal, Lloris maybe could get across to it a little bit quicker. But Hugo Lloris, surely now this marks the time or the start of the end of his Tottenham career. He's still the captain. at Tottenham. He still leads the team out, but he was awful today. I'm very much at fault for potentially both of the goals. Joseph asks, "Hey AGT, what do you think Arsenal should? Who do you think Arsenal should sign after missing out on Mudryk?" I don't think Rafinha's getting many games at Barca. You could probably get him for around 45 mil. I think Leroy Sané is a good shout. I think Gnabry might be a good shout. And there's obviously a lot more, but you kind of want a player that can play across the front three. And now is Sané that guy? You want someone really that can slot in both on the left, right, and down the middle. And I think Jesus definitely gives you that. But I would say get another player like that, maybe less of an out and out winger. That's my opinion anyway. Again, let us know in the comments right now. Who do Arsenal still need in this transfer window? Martinelli controls the ball with his back, says Faris Atha Muhana. And Leroy Sané, please, says Anonymous. And Spurs will be out of the top six, which means Toby's twin brother Tosin will take Toby's place on the Big Six panel. Well, we will see tomorrow if she's okay when she turns up to work. I'm a Gunners fan from India. What a game from Arsenal. What's your take on Arsenal signing a striker in January? There you go. I just gave my thoughts on that. AGT, Lloris had no chance for the second goal. It was the fault of the defenders, all swarming Saka, which gave Odegaard much time and space. AGT, what about Yeremy Pino, the player who scored against you lot? Yes, I remember him for Villarreal. Tricky player. I know there were shouts maybe for him to come earlier on, maybe in August to Arsenal, but a tricky player. Is he Premier League proven? Is he at that level yet for Arsenal as they lead this title race? I'm not too sure. What a difference half a season makes. It's unbelievable, the main add-on, how much has changed really from August to now in terms of Arsenal. Unbelievable. Just joined late. Thoughts on Newcastle's chances for the top four? Big chance to get in the top four. If anything, it's Newcastle's place to lose now. I do believe they are grinding out the results, and the togetherness that they have in that team with the fans, the manager, the players, it's quite something. And they're building something very, very big as well. Arsenal should get Trossard, says Kwasi. Rafa Leao, maybe. We've seen him be linked with Arsenal in the past. I think he would cost you around about, 60 to 80 at least for Rafa Leao. Big numbers. Will Matty Renton be in the Big Six panel now? We'll get Champions League and then maybe. Spurs fans willing to lose against City to hold Arsenal. That's the kind of level we're at now, right now. Abby won't turn up tomorrow, says Lewis. Oh, she better. Got to turn up to work. I might not turn up after losing 3-0 yesterday. Don't care about missing out on Mudryk. We need a striker, and he was way overpriced, says Aldiros. And Selao saying that Arsenal should sign Dante Venezia from Royal Union. Not going to lie, don't know too much about the player, but if you say so, must be all right. Odegaard is on fire. We have Super Mick Arteta. What team do you support? Liverpool, Sesse, as you know. The chemistry between the fans and the players is unbelievable. Come on, you Gunners, says Arendon Barrow. And AGT, how long would you stick with Klopp if Liverpool miss out on top four or even top six? Tune in tomorrow to the weekend roundup show to find out. Big up. A lot of Liverpool questions. Let's keep it Arsenal, guys. Kane is coming home to his beloved Arsenal. Not too sure about that. And what Tottenham need to do to win tonight? Well, they've already lost, as we know. North London is white. One game won't change that. Says Bart is a serious fan. Wow. In the comments, do you remember the score today? I don't think Arsenal's white today, my friend. When it's just one presenter, obviously you do have to deal with the old water breaks. I've been talking at you now for 25 minutes, so you need to keep yourself hydrated. Thank you. Ramsdale did get kicked by the fan. Richarlison deserves a ban for inciting it. Arsenal paying off the officials once again, says Voice of Reason, whilst Bart is a serious fan, saying Robbie admitted his love for Kane on Sky Sports. He did. Robbie was on Sky Sports Saturday Social tomorrow. Do you think Richarlison will get a ban? Potentially. I mean, obviously he's had a ban before with that red card, so he's not used to not having bans. AGT, one of the best. Always got real opinions and throwing sly digs. Love it, G. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, something will be done. Someone will be banned. Someone will be fined. But to the extent we don't know yet, and I think that will become very clear by tomorrow at least. Snarl up after the match. Meanwhile, we are happy and sleeping with our shoes on tonight. Arsenal diehard from Kenya in East Africa. There you go. When did Spurs win a trophy? London has never been white, says Luke Jones. Big up to you. London right now, red. Oh, am I happy for the Arsenal? I guess in a weird way. It's nice to see someone that isn't Man City winning the league. But I'd prefer it to be Liverpool, obviously. But no, Arsenal, they deserve to be there. Whether you like them, whether you respect them, I think now you have to. Because they do deserve to be there. Thoughts for United Arsenal next week. Now, that is some game. That is some game, by the way. I can't wait to watch that one. Big DR Sports weekend ahead next weekend for sure. Thank you and keep up the hard work, AGT. Big up. Absolutely. Thank you, my friend. North London White saying Bart is a serious fan. And Zinchenko, man, what a player, says Anonymous A. Absolutely brilliant today, Zinchenko. A couple of mistakes maybe towards the second half, but a little bit of complacency creeps in. But he is some player. Manchester City, after replacing him with Sergi Gomez, it's not the same, is it? The grass wasn't greener for City, and Zinchenko is maybe going to win the league instead of Man City. But guess how will they look back at that one at the end of the season? If you are Man City, how will they look back on selling Gabby Jesus, selling Alexander Zinchenko? Because again, they could have done with a Jesus yesterday. They could have done with a Zinchenko yesterday. Could have Man City after losing the Manchester derby. Newcastle will win the league before Arsenal, says Bart. Watch out for Ten Hag. Casemiro clear of Partey. I'm not sure. Did you see Partey shot today, by the way? If that went in, guys, that would have been an absolute belter. Potentially goal of the season. Maybe we can do a poll on that in the show tomorrow. If that shot goes in, we're talking about one of the all-time great goals in the NLD, the North London derby. But if we go back towards the start of the game, before we look to wrap it up here today on this post-game live show, as Tottenham are outclassed by the away team, Arsenal. If we wrap it up, really and truly, it was destined for an Arsenal win from minute one. Tottenham all over the place defensively. Lloris exerting a lack of confidence with his kicking. Really was poor, if we're honest. And, once that first goal trickles in over the line from that cross kind of shot from Saka, you're thinking, oh, it's an early goal. It's just what Tottenham didn't want. It's just what Arsenal did want. Can they hold on? Can they look to maybe kill this game off? And they did. They gave Odegaard too much time, too much space, and he cultured it. Left foot cultured strike into the bottom right-hand corner. And that 2-0 scoreline at the time to go in at half-time with was something that Arsenal have really rarely found themselves doing, especially away from home. But then to see out that performance, they knew that Tottenham were going to come big in the second half. They knew they were going to knock on the door. They knew that there would be chances, but they were awake, they were alert, and they concentrated to make sure that they didn't concede any of those opportunities that they gave to Tottenham. For instance, Harry Kane making Ramsdale work, Sessegnon making Ramsdale work, and he got his just rewards right at the end with that 3-point added to their tally in the table. Listen, there were chances for Tottenham, half chances, big saves, whatever you want to call it, but I just never felt at any point there that Arsenal did not have control of that game, if I'm honest. Arsenal FC Rock says S. Ram, what a good game from the Gunners. Arsenal fans loved it. North London is ours, says Southwest Gooner, and I'm guessing Arteta will be the youngest manager to win the Premier League if he does, says Gooner for life. Let's not forget, guys, right? We're still only just halfway through the season. There's still 50% to go, many ups and downs, but right now it's looking very good if you're an Arsenal fan. Am I going to watch the El Clasico? Potentially. What channel is it on? Let me know. I think it might be ITV 4 or something like that. North London is red, another very happy Arsenal fan here. And if Arsenal wins this season, it will be bigger than the Invincibles, ? North London is red. I don't know about that one. I think the Invincibles is special. It remains in its own category. It's untouched, really. It's invincible for a reason. It would be as big as it in a way because of the fact that it adds another number to Arsenal's tally. I think they would be on. I think they'd be on 14 leagues if Arsenal win. But yeah, as important as the Invincible for sure. North London is Tottenham, you know, mate, says David Bowles. Big up to you. North London is and always will be red. I think tonight you have to say it is firmly red. Arsenal fans in dreamland as they win away at Tottenham. Lol, they haven't even played Man City and still have to play United again. Deluded fan base, says Jeff. Big up to you. Arsenal win at the toilet bowl, says Muzam. And Mudryk is a gigolo. I'm not too sure about that. A bit rude there. Sorry, I shouldn't have even read that out. I got baited there. Arsenal are like the Toronto Maple Leafs. All hype in the beginning, and in the end, we crash. Not a massive... don't have massive knowledge of the Maple Leafs, but if you say so, yeah, why not? North London is white. Ben White says Tendy item. Big up to you, son, the big Newcastle fan. And our squad is light. We still need to make moves, says John. Who needs Mudryk? We have Martinelli, Saka, and Emil Smith-Rowe, says Luke Jones. We need to add depth to our squad, says John. Right, a couple of questions before we finish off then. What does this one mean for Arsenal? Well, the mental blockade that was Arsenal not really winning at Tottenham for so many years has now been shattered. Can they do the same at the Etihad? Can they do the same at Anfield? If so, then we are really, really looking at a team walking away with the title. But that mental accomplishment today of winning in such a hostile environment, that's massive for Arsenal. What does it mean now going into their title charge? What does it mean for the players who, again, have absolutely outclassed Tottenham in so many different ways all over the pitch today? But on the bad side of things, what does this now mean for Tottenham? They were relying on that positive home record in North London derbies to maybe see them through today. But no, it's come back to bite them, and Arsenal win it fairly easily in the end. But what does this mean now for Conte? He's definitely looking less likely week by week to sign a new deal. We know that there's a lot of back and forth between the fans right now around the owners. They're looking for investment, obviously. But what does this mean for Tottenham now? Where will they finish now as well in the table? Arsenal were dominating the game. Big up the players' mentality. It's all that matters in a derby. Let's hope for a better result next week. And trust me, if we get 2 bodies in the window, the league is ours without doubt, saying Jevi as God is my witness. And can Arsenal win the treble? Europa League, Premier League, and the FA Cup. We will see. But there you go, guys. That was your post-game live show with myself, AGT. Tottenham outclassed by Arsenal, and Spurs most certainly in the mud. Make sure you do not miss it. Put an alarm on, put a timer on right now to lock into DR Sports tomorrow at midday. Myself, Robbie, Matisse, and Abby will be on the weekend roundup show talking about this even more. So make sure you watch out for that. And of course, amazing content throughout the week as we now preview Arsenal versus Manchester United next week as well. But until then, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.